sex. It's a normal, healthy part of life, right? So you'd think that maintaining a healthy and satisfying sex life would just come naturally. Why is it then that so many of us do these things that ruin the sex life? One of the biggest, and something I hear about just all too often on the radio, is cheating.
What's your cheating question?
Eric, what's going on?
I'm seeing multiple women, and I don't really want to call it cheating.
All right, well, hold on. Are you sleeping with all of them?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a scoundrel. Chandra, what's up?
Well, I'm married, but I'm cheating on my husband.
Oof. How old were you when you got married?
I got married when I was 21.
How long before you started cheating?
3-4 months, I think.
And then you started cheating right away. You really gotta decide if you're gonna see this relationship through, this marriage. And if you are, you need to get some help with it. Because you're 3 months into your marriage, you're already cheating, Chandra. Not a great sign. I mean, let's face it, right?
Yeah.
Well, I have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I have a girlfriend right now, and I am dating 2 other girls at the same time. I mean,
I'm getting disgusted by men. Break up with your girlfriend. If you want to date other girls, break up with your girlfriend. How do you think?
I don't want to break up with my girlfriend.
No, I don't care. You're hurting her. You're hurting her badly. Don't have a girlfriend. That's fine to date lots of girls, but then don't have a girlfriend. You got to stop. You got to stop. I'm telling you got to stop. But unfortunately, infidelity or cheating is something many of us are all too familiar with. According to a recent University of Kansas study, 60% of men and 40% of women admit to having had an extramarital affair. It's one of the most common relationship problems, says our next guest, licensed clinical psychologist and relationship expert, Dr. Pamela Verity. Welcome to the show, Dr. Verity.
Thank
really
you.
Appreciate you coming in. This does freak me out, the fact that we're seeing so many women cheat. That's becoming more common, isn't it?
Absolutely, it is. 1 in 2.7 couples have cheating involved in their relationship.
And when someone has cheated, how often does the relationship survive that?
Not often in a marriage, especially in a long-term marriage where somebody turns to cheating during midlife. For women, it's common to start an affair between the ages of 35 and 45. I'm talking about an affair of the heart, and those are the most serious kind. This is beyond a one-night stand. This is where somebody's having the affair because they're missing so much in their own relationship in terms of connection, and emotional connection primarily.
And that's more the reason that women cheat, is that not true?
Yes, in general, there's so many interesting gender differences.
Yeah.
Women cheat primarily for connection, and then emotional connection. And then, of course, sexual connection is a piece of it, but emotional, whereas men initially cheat for sexual reasons. They want sexual variety. But sometimes with men, what happens is, once they get physically involved, they also can get emotionally involved.
There's actually a human being behind
Yes, you
that
are.
actually a human being here. That's right.
Which is interesting. The other thing that's interesting about gender differences is the way they react when they find out.
Yes.
So if you're female and you were hurt in the relationship by an unfaithful spouse, you tend to blame yourself.
Oh, wow.
And you tend to get
blame the other woman. I see women blaming other women more than their partner.
Absolutely, yeah. Somehow the partner gets left out of this, which is so fascinating to me. Men often will react by feeling angry.
Yes, and there are also men have a thing about the actual physical act. Did you have sex with that person or didn't you?
Yes, they're crazy about the sex thing. Meanwhile, the reason for the woman, the impetus that the woman has towards the relationship was because of the lack of emotional connection. But the man stays focused on, you had sex with him, you had sex with him.
Now, you said that very few relationships survive the cheating.
Yes, well, I would
Without
say
help, anyway.
35% can survive the cheating.
And that's with help or
with
just
a lot of help.
With a lot of help.
Good help.
So if you've cheated and you regret it, should you tell your partner?
That's interesting. You know, I don't like a one-size-fits-all approach to this, but I think if you've cheated, if it was a one-night fling and you can spare your partner the gory details and you think that your partner wouldn't be able to handle it, I think keeping it to yourself is actually the more grown-up response.
Interesting. So how do you forgive and move on?
Forgiving and move on is very difficult, but you can do it. First of all, I think that both partners, the one who cheated, the unfaithful one, and the hurt one, need to examine the relationship prior to the affair. Because the affair often is a symptom of a relationship that's lacking. Lacking in emotional connection primarily, and often sexual connection too.
And then with the help of a therapist, they can kind of heal that piece
Yes,
that was missing to begin with.
Absolutely. And also, all of us are really good at blaming the other person for what's missing in our lives instead of looking within and taking responsibility for what our part in it is.
That is a great place for us to leave off because the fact is, it takes two. We're talking about a relationship, and it's never just one person. Thank you so much, Dr. Verity. I think this is a critical issue. People don't think about all these things, and you've shed light on something for us, and I appreciate it, and I hope you'll come back.
Thank you.